Many of us struggle with balancing the demands of day-to-day life, and often adding chronic pain, depression, and anxiety to the mix makes even mundane tasks much harder to manage. However, medical experts are discovering new ways to treat the effects of mental health issues and the chronic pain that is impacting individuals daily. Often described as a groundbreaking drug, ketamine can provide relief to many disorders and ailments where other previous conventional therapies have failed, building new pathways in the brain to help people to heal and have a more positive perception of life.
Ketamine is different than the mainstream medications because it helps rebuild neurotransmitter pathways in the brain, because it works based off of a different theory. A lot of the mainstream medications work based off of a chemical imbalance theory, while ketamine works off of a theory of damage being in the brain on the neurotransmitters. Ketamine is safe for use in a controlled medical environment. Using it on the street is extremely dangerous. Truly, you want a provider who has experience with ketamine, a mental health background, a background with anesthesia, or at least some knowledge with how to respond to any adverse outcomes that could happen.
Through ever-expanding research and technological developments, Victory Medical is now offering ketamine infusion therapy, a cutting-edge process that offers breakthrough healing for depression and persistent pain. Victory Medical's physicians customize each infusion to best benefit every individual's needs. Not only will you feel the immediate relaxing effects of ketamine infusion therapy, but also see long-term relief that has not been achievable through other forms of therapy.
The mission of Victory Medical is to enhance the lives of our patients through the spirit of giving, employing conventional and unconventional approaches to treating the whole person.
A relatively new concept in healthcare, Victory Medical is one of the few licensed clinics in the U.S. offering ketamine as a therapeutic option to patients. While ketamine has been known to be an addictive drug when used recreationally, it is safe when given and monitored by a medical professional who can administer an appropriate dosage. And because each individual responds differently to ketamine therapy, a trained Victory Medical therapist is present every step of the way, administering correct dosages based on the needs for each patient.
If you are somebody that was exposed to childhood trauma, drugs, any kind of abuse, things like that, and as a result you have depression and anxiety, the theory is that there's damage in the brain and the neurotransmitter. So the ketamine goes to the brain via an IV infusion, and it helps rebuild those damaged areas. Ketamine as a standalone is not a fix-all, but it is definitely an excellent medication when used in conjunction with other therapy modalities as part of a comprehensive program. So staying in therapy, diet, exercise, all those things are super important.
In the very beginning of our practice, we employed nutrition therapy, psychotherapy, exercise, and other modalities that help us make people whole or well rather than simply treating disease. But ketamine alone isn't the solution. What ketamine does that is really unique is that it helps soften up pathways that have formed over time that people can't change. Depression can become ingrained so that it doesn't matter what you treat it with in terms of antidepressants or therapy.
Well, I had been diagnosed with treatment-resistant major depressive disorder and had struggled with that for 20 years. I have tried every medication, every treatment, therapy. There are lots of great drugs for depression for a lot of people, but they don't work for a large population of people that have tried all those things, and I had tried all those things. I was just barely functioning in life at that point. People had mentioned ketamine to me, and so in desperation, I was like, I'll try anything. Ketamine acts differently, and in my layman's term, it is this brain reset. When something happens to me, I'm able to process that and then choose how I'm going to react to that instead of it just being the automatic, hellish kind of pit reaction that I had been stuck in for all those years. It gave me the opportunity to transform my life to have this fresh start.
Ketamine IV therapy is not only aiding those battling depression, PTSD, OCD, bipolar disorder, postpartum depression, and fibromyalgia, but is also proving to help treat substance abuse disorders.
I had the type of anxiety that literally crippled me from being able to go out and face the public. I wasn't able to go to school. I wasn't able to do any work. Ketamine therapy truly changed my life. I'm able to do all the things that I'm supposed to be doing in my life. Right now, I'm running 2 businesses. I have more energy. It really did help me so much.
I've seen patients' lives completely transformed. I've seen them barely able to function and pay their bills to becoming productive citizens and happy and able to go to the grocery store and play with their children. If you're somebody who has stumbled and hit that plateau using mainstream medications, then ketamine is one of those medications that may be the perfect one to help push you through.
While many do get better on simple therapies and medications, maybe even the majority of patients don't really end up treating their depression effectively, and so they end up with a very compromised life because of their depression. And while a medication can't fix everything in somebody's life, ketamine in particular can set the stage for someone to make real changes.
Battling psychological and chronic health disorders are a lot for any individual. For those in desperate need when other methods have failed, ketamine offers a deep spiritual reset and relief that lasts. Learn more today about Victory Medical, passionate about you and your health. For more information or to schedule your ketamine therapy session, go to victorymed.com or call 512-462-3627.